Welcome. Epchalasi. I'm Connie, your ALP communications instructor. I want to welcome you to ALP Comm and give a bit of a course orientation. ALP Comm is a 2-credit, 200-hour course needed for graduation. That's if you're an ALP student. If you're an academic upgrading, you're likely taking the course to get into a post-secondary program. It's both grade 11 and 12 English. The course has elements of high school English, but it also includes some workplace comm. The course has both grad and academic versions depending on your needs. It's available face-to-face in daytime classes, and for those who want, there are online classes Wednesday and Thursday evening. If you have grade 11 English, you might be exempt for some assignments. So you talk to me when classes start. I'll be sending you out a survey where you identify that. It depends very much on your background, how long you've been out of school, what program you're going into after ALP. ALP has 3 levels of communications courses to help you meet your goals. So you need to know or learn what prerequisite you need for your work or post-secondary program, and that determines what course you take. Most people take Grad Comm, that's Communications 1040, and that's a prerequisite for most NSCC programs. 95% of NSCC programs want, all they need is Grad Comm. The course is shorter, there's a smaller literature module, and there are fewer essays in Grad Comm. The course is more focused on workplace communications, practical communications. Academic Comm, Comm 1040, that's a prerequisite course that you need for university, paramedic, and a few NSCC programs like practical nursing or medical office. That's lab technician. It has more literature content, and there are more essays in it, and most people have a much longer completion time than Grad Comm. If you're not ready for Grad Comm, we have your back. Level 3 Communications, Communications 1033, that's a boot camp that gets you ready, gets your skills up to snuff for Grad Comm. If you're not ready for academic comm, but need it for future goals, you can start in Grad Comm to build your skills, and much of the work you do may be transferred into the academic course. Both the grad and academic courses are 2 credits, and that's a lot of credits. The Department of Education estimates that's about 200 hours work. That's a lot too. They are big courses, but remember, you've got lots of help, including Brightspace, your online classroom. Brightspace is the college's learning management system. So now that you have Brightspace, what do? This is a screenshot of a my Brightspace homepage. I have a tile or block for every course I teach. Yours will look different because you have a tile for every course you take. So once you click on a course tile, you're taken to a course homepage. The course homepage is really the splash page for a whole website. So every course has its own website. Every course has a course navigation bar, and they're the same for every course. So although there's a lot of choices there, content, resources, ways to communicate, how you're going to be assessed or marked, a help menu, a menu for college services. Although there's a lot, the good news is when you're starting your first week or weeks, you can focus on the content tab. When you click on the Content tab in the navigation bar near the top of your screen, you come to the table of contents. And most instructors have something like a start here or a get to know you block, for sort of a warm-up before you get into the real work, though often there are points for the work in there, as there are in Comm. So there's a start here block, and once you click a block under that table of contents, table of contents on your left. On your right, when you click a block, the content is revealed for that module or unit. So select a block, read the overview up at the top of the block, and then read the associated lessons or activities or assignments. One important thing is that text in blue ink, links to information or activities. So it's not there to be pretty, it's there to link to further information. In either grad or academic comm, both, there are 6 modules plus some workshops. So in addition to that start here block, you have learning essentials, and this number by the name, that refers to the number of files in the unit. So don't worry about that number. It's not your mark. It's just the number of files associated with the unit. So we have learning essentials, workplace comm, an intro to literature, some media exploration, do some cultural exploration, diversity, including reading a novel. We sharpen up our research skills and our report writing skills. So that's the 6 modules. The rest of the blocks under table of content, they are different sorts of online and sometimes in-person workshops to help you develop your skills. So how many modules were there? Do you remember? 6 modules, 6 workshops. The modules need to be done for your course grade. Workshops help you build skills to get a good grade, or just to build skills that you want for the future. What kind of work am I talking about when I talk about building skills and doing assignments? Here are some sample assignments. Online reading skills activities. And for this activity, we have textbook equivalents by request. Most of our activities are all online, but some people prefer the textbook for that one. We have workplace writing like business letters, digital literacy work. We improve our computer skills, in other words. There's reading and writing about literature and essays. And we have assignments on evaluating media, such as detecting fake news. You'll create presentation slides. You'll actually make a presentation either to the class or to just me, and sometimes this can involve just uploading your slides to Brightspace for others to look at. And you'll do some research and sharpen your report writing skills. Throughout the course, there are opportunities for online and in-class discussion. And I guess I better bring up the elephant in the room these days. Learn to use AI correctly if you use it. There's no necessity to use artificial intelligence apps like ChatGPT or Copilot, but if you are going to use them correctly. And this includes citing your sources. That means saying where you got your information or ideas, whether that's ChatGPT, Copilot, or an app that is AI enabled. And we'll actually go into that in the course, the difference between an AI app and an app that's AI enabled. It also includes paraphrasing sources. That is, rewording ideas your own way in your own writing voice. So there are ethical ways to use AI. This course is easier than it first looks to you, perhaps, if you take it one step at a time. Get to know Brightspace. Some people want to jump right in and do coursework. We'd like you to take time to do the Brightspace practice course, click around in Brightspace. If you get to know Brightspace, you'll find your work will go much faster. So first get to know Brightspace, then get to know your course. Take time to look through the course. Just don't do the first assignment without seeing what's coming after it. Read or listen to assignment instructions. Halfway through the assignment, go back and reread or listen. At the end of the assignment, before you submit it, go over those instructions again to make sure you're doing what the task requires to get that good mark. And most importantly, ask questions. If instructions aren't clear, ask. The only way I can make my instructions clearer is if you give me feedback. And participate. Participation comes in many forms. Join in. Some assignments use Brightspace discussions. You don't need to talk aloud in class if that's not your thing. For instance, when you start to look through the course, you'll be asked to introduce yourself in the first class discussion. It's kind of an easy, gentle start. By the end of the course, you'll be doing entire assignments inside those discussions. This is what it looks like when you get there. So class discussions are a little like Facebook, but of course they're for school, so you need to be mindful of the content. Many assignments have grading rubrics, and you may not have come across these before. So when you see something like that attached to an assignment, don't let it be an obstacle. A grading rubric is how a teacher marks fairly. Not just out of pulling a mark at the top of her head or making your marking mood dependent. It's a set of guidelines how you're marking a specific assignment. So they're good for teachers, they're good for students. You don't have to look at the detail now, but when you do come across one, have a look, because it's also going to give you a lot of great hints and information on how to do an excellent job on your assignment. So that's a grading rubric. I want to go over 2 pieces of Brightspace trivia before we end. Every activity in Brightspace, if you look to the right, you'll be able to see a kind of checkbox. In my courses, you check the box off when you've completed the task. Some instructors have it set to mark off automatically when you click on the link. I prefer that you have control over it, so be mindful of that, and I can show you how to do that. Also, like some other instructors, I put the whole course up there for you. So as soon as you have access, you see all the work, all the workshops. Unfortunately, that means if there's any quizzes in the course, you're going to see something like a little widget that says 2 quizzes not attempted. That doesn't mean you have quizzes that are due or overdue. It just means that you're going to have 2 courses somewhere in the content, two quizzes somewhere in the content. You don't need to click on them and do them right away. They're much better done once you've done the lessons associated with them. I want to give you 4 important tips before we close. Attend class. I've been in ALP for over 20 years, and usually the people who succeed the best and the fastest are those who attend class. So this is the top tip. You need to stay connected. Log into Brightspace regularly. Yep, every school day is good. If it's not making sense, send me a message. We'll see my address in a minute. Join in regularly. I know you're learning only if you participate, and there are many ways of participating. Doesn't just mean talking in class. Reach out when you need help. You can contact me by email, Teams, or Brightspace. I'm particularly good at getting back to people quickly through Teams chat. If you don't know how to use that, I'll be showing you how pretty soon. And my email address, as well as my Teams chat address, is connie.mcpherson@nscc.ca. So welcome to ALP Comm. If I haven't met you in person yet, I look forward to meeting you shortly. And I hope you have an excellent course. I'm always listening for your feedback.